Today we are going to talk about the updated tier list for Black Beacon that I prepared after a lot of testing. I'm going to explain the reasoning behind why every character is ranked the way they are. But before that, one thing that I hope everyone understands is that a tier list varies depending on your own play style, ease of use, which varies with players, and team synergies, as using a character in their best team can make them seem S tier even if they are ranked B. And there is almost never a 100% factual tier list for any game because of the reasons I just mentioned. I have tried my best to make the most accurate tier list possible. Last thing that I believe is very crucial to mention is that if multiple content creators or websites have the same tier list, that does not mean anyone copied from each other. It's about the information that is available from reputable sources. If there are only 2 tier lists on the internet available and 10 content creator made videos on it, that doesn't mean they copied from other content creators. The truth being that it's literally the most accurate information out there. Therefore, accusing someone that they copied a tier list from another popular creator since they are popular and uploaded the list first doesn't make you look smart. Let's start with the SAS tier characters first. These are the meta-defining characters. Florence. She's a 5-star DPS fire element character with AoE and dot damage. The reason she is considered SS tier is because her kit delivers unmatched versatility and raw power with minimal player effort. Her Monarch stance built through basic attacks amplifies her Claymore swings in burst state, dealing AoE fire damage that scales with attack and fire damage bonused, up to 120% at max stacks. Her ultimate ignores 30% of enemy defense, shredding even tanky foes, which is rare for a launch character. Unlike other DPS characters, Florence doesn't rely heavily on specific supports. Her self-sufficient damage makes her a beginner-friendly carry. Her ranking is cemented by her low skill ceiling. Basic combos yield high output, unlike Li Qi's complex battle wheel management. According to the data that I collected from more than 10 websites, it shows her dealing 20 to 30% more DPS than other 5 stars in AoE scenarios. However, her limited banner availability slightly tempers her accessibility, but re-rolling for her is widely recommended. Our next SS tier character is Zero. She's a 4-star light element and support character who excels at buffing. The reason she is considered SS tier is because of her universal utility, making her the backbone of nearly every optimal team comp. Her core mechanic of 50% attack buff for 20 seconds scales with her attack stat, applies to all allies, boosting team DPS by 30 to 40% in battles. Unlike elemental-specific supports like Ming, Zero synergizes with any DPS, Florence, Li Qi, Nana, making her a staple in both early game and endgame. Her ultimate, a leaping AoE light attack, deals respectable damage and charges quickly, adding minor crowd control. Her ranking edges out Logos because her buffs are immediate and don't require talent unlocks, offering instant value. Her only drawback is a lack of healing, but this is mitigated by pairing her with healers like Logos or Asti. Now let's talk about S-tier characters. These characters are near meta-defining but have specific requirements or minor limitations compared to SS tier. Li Qi. He's a 5-star Thunder Element single-target DPS character. Li Qi ranks in S tier for his devastating single-target DPS, tailored for boss fights like the Void Warden, where he outshines Florence's AoE focus. His Battle Will mechanic gains 1 point per hit, max 100, boosts attack speed by 25%, and adds AoE lightning bursts at full stacks, dealing 300% attack damage per burst. However, his HP drain, caps 55%, demands a healer, pushing him below Florence in ease of use. His ultimate summons after images that can deal 10 hits, 50% attack each, which restores 10% HP per hit, mitigating some risk but requiring precise timing. His high skill ceiling and managing will stacks and HP makes him less forgiving for new players, but according to the information I got from a lot of websites, all of them are in description in case you don't believe me and want to check for yourself, skilled players report 40% higher boss DPS than Florence in optimal conditions. His Thunder element also faces fewer resistant enemies early on, boosting his viability. Li Chi needs attack and crit-focused builds to maximize his output. There are some misconceptions regarding him that I'll quickly clear up. He does not scale off HP. Only his thunder damage does according to his first talent. As upon joining battle, Li Chi gains a thunder damage bonus based on max HP. For every 1,000 max HP he has, thunder damage increases by 2%, up to a maximum of 60%. His max HP without any weapon or ancient marks is almost 16,000. Now let's get a little technical here. I'd suggest you to use a little HP on him to maximize his first talent. However, it's not as simple as prioritizing HP over everything else. That's why you can't use only HP, because that's going to make him do less damage overall. I think a hybrid build could work very well for him. Next up is Arzi, but before that I'd like to thanks all of you for your support. I have reached my 500 subscribers goal. Now let's see if we can reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. I'm going to be making a lot of interesting videos on Black Beacon, so don't forget to subscribe. Next is AZ. She's a 4-star Thunder Element debuffer character. She earns S tier for her game-changing 20% damage resistance debuff for 20 seconds, which increases all team damage by 20%. Her second skill, Drone Swarm, deploys drones dealing 50% attack per second for 10 seconds, stacking to 500% attack, and her ultimate, Rocket Barrage, marks enemies for double damage, 100% uptime on bosses, 5-second duration on mobs. As a 4-star, she's easy to pull and upgrade, making her accessible. Next up is Hefei. She is a 4-star fire element support. Hefei is a top fire support, buffing team damage resistance by 20% per stack, max 5 stacks and 20-second duration, via skill 1, Forge Barrier, and adding 10% attack per stack, 50% total. As a 4-star, she's easy to max dupe, boosting Florence's survivability and DPS. In the meta, her fire synergy shines with Florence and Ming. Her kit is simple, cast barrier, and swap unlike Logo's note stacking, but a fire lock limits her versus Zero's universality. Next, let's talk about Ming. Ming is a 4-star fire element support class. Her skill 2, Soul Thread, links enemies sharing 30% of damage taken as per the latest patch notes on the 12th of April. The damage taken has been increased from 30 to 60%, boosting AoE clears. Her ultimate, Lamp Ghost, summons a ghost that applies a 15% fire damage bonus for 10 seconds. As a 4-star, she's accessible, enhancing Florence by 15%. Ming's chase damage turns Florence into a wave-clearing machine. Next up, let's talk about rank characters. These characters excel in specific scenarios, for example, healing, AoE, burst, but require more effort, investment, or team synergy than S tier, and lacking the universal impact of SS tier. Erishan. She's a 5-star Dark Element Burst DPS character. Erishan is a burst DPS specialist. Her kit scales with attack and crit damage, plus Dark Elemental Anomaly. She's not the easiest DPS to use, as she requires precise targeting to chain combos. She's a high-risk, high-reward character. Her synergy with AZ boosts Erishan output by 20% via debuffs, but she needs healers, Logos or tanks, Ninsar, to survive Abyss 9's AoE waves, unlike Florence's self-sufficiency. Next up is Logos. She's a 5-star light element healer and dot unit. And I previously mentioned that her healing scales off with attack, but I was wrong about that. It scales off HP for at least the notes part, so put as much HP as possible in her for big heals. Her synergy with Florence, or Li Chi, sustains aggressive play, but her lack of offensive buffs versus Zero's 50% attack kind of limit her. Especially since the best thing about her, that the ability to revive an ally once per battle, is amazing, but it's really pay to win. You need her at potential 6 to unlock that ability. Over long term, it's okay cause we might be able to get those dupes since she's a standard banner unit, but still it all depends on your gacha luck. And she's kind of confusing or tough to use for new players cause of her notes mechanic. Next up is Viola. She's a 5-star Thunder Element Breaker character. In the meta, her Thunder synergy with Lychee boosts team DPS by 10%, but her rotation skill 1, then skill 2, and skill 1 again, then ultimate requires precise positioning and timing, unlike Florence's spam-friendly kit. Her shield breaking shines in 30% of content, Trial 3, Abyss Floor 6, but her 60 energy ultimate with 15-second recharge lags behind Erishan's burst. Compared to S-tier AZE, Viola's damage is active but narrower, and her 5-star status demands pulls. Her A-tier reflects her situational role versus Zero's universal impact. Next up is Ninsar. She's a 4-star Dark Element Assist unit. Ninsar is a tanky support generating shields via skill 1. Her shield scales with HP. In the meta, her light element fits all content, but her shields are less impactful than Hefei's 100% resistance in fast-paced Abyss, Floor 9 and onwards, and her Golem's 1k DPS lags behind Ming's 1.6k chase. Her kit is simple: cast shields, summon Golem. Compared to A-tier Logos, Ninsar's defensive utility is narrower, and her DPS scales slower than Erishan's. A-tier reflects her early game strength versus Hefei's broader meta fit. Next up is Asti. She's a 4-star water element support character. Asti is a budget healer. Her kit is straightforward, cast zone and swap, but lacks buffs. Unlike Hefei, compared to A-tier Viola, Asti's utility is passive. A-tier reflects her early to mid-game strength versus Logos endgame. Next up is Nana. She's a 5-star Dark Element AoE sub-DPS unit. In the meta, her Darkness element synergizes with AZI. Her rotations, Skill 1, Lunar Shift, combos and ultimate demand precision, unlike Viola's simpler setup. Her 5-star status needs pulls, and her early game DPS scales slowly. Compared to A-tier Asti, Nana's damage is active but niche. A-tier reflects her effort versus Florence is easy of use. Next is the B-tier. These characters are functional in early story chapters but struggle mid-game due to lower scaling or niche roles outclassed by A-tier and above. Shamash, he's a 4-star light element DPS unit. Shamash is a DPS tank hybrid. Shamash's tankiness helps early game, but his damage fades fast. In the meta, his light element is universal, but his DPS is tremendously lower than Florence's. His kit is simple, combo, skill 1, then ultimate, but he lacks impact versus Erishan's burst. As a 4-star, he's accessible, but his role overlaps with Ninsar's better shields. Compared to A-tier Nana, Shamash's utility is broader but weaker. B-tier reflects his early game niche. Now let's finally talk about our C-tier characters. These characters are rarely used outside early game or specific niches, for example crowd control, offering minimal impact compared to B-tier's broader utility. First is Enkai. He is a niche debuffer with skill 1 Aqua Trap, applying a 10% attack debuff. His skill 2 slows enemies by 20% for 5 seconds, and his ultimate debuff is 15% attack for 10 seconds. Enki's debuffs are too weak for most content. Compared to B-tier Shamash, Enki's utility is narrower. C-tier reflects his minimal role versus Azi's meta impact. Next up is Wushi, which sounds like... Anyways, he's a 4-star Dark Element DPS. In the meta, his Darkness element synergizes with Azi. His Bleed procs, 10% chance, yields less damage than Nana. His kit is moderate first combo, skill 1, then ultimate. but his 300% ultimate lags behind Viola's 600%. As a 4-star, he's accessible, but his high skill ceiling, bleed requires combo uptime, offers low reward. C tier reflects his irrelevance versus Erishan's burst. Last one is Xin. She's a Thunder Element DPS unit. Xin is a budget Thunder DPS, but Xin's combos can't compete with Viola or Li Qi. In the meta, her Thunder Element synergizes with Viola, but her lack of utility, no buffs, debuffs, and low 250% ultimate make her a poor man's Li Qi. Her kit is simple first combos, skill 1, then ultimate, but her DPS fades by chapter 4, unlike Shamash's tankiness. As a 4-star, she's accessible, but her role is redundant with better Thunder options. Compared to C-tier Wuxi, Xin's damage is faster but equally weak. C-tier reflects her irrelevance versus Li Qi's meta role. That's it for the updated tier list for Black Beacon. I hope it provided you some value. Have a wonderful day.